Yeah.
This long live the Intifada.
Yeah.
Is this an example of the what did you say, National Organic Human Rights Movement that you mean? Is this a human rights movement?
I'm not sure that using the term intifada, which literally just means to like shake off or get rid of, is effective, as most Americans don't actually associate it with a human rights issue. So I don't think that's effective. No, Senator.
Wait a minute. You don't think it's effective, but you would agree that this is calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. This is after the
No, Senator.
No, it's not. This isn't calling for the killing of Jews.
I don't know that person, and I don't know that sign. So
you don't know what this means?
I don't.
You haven't seen this before. Did you see these protests on Rabbi? Do you know what this means?
Yes, it's a call for the destruction of the state of Israel and probably the killing of Jews everywhere.
I do not agree with that, Senator.
You know, sometimes in politics, you witness a moment so sharp, so shocking, that you literally stop whatever you're doing and just sit back for a second. So before we dive in, take a breath, grab a drink, relax your shoulders, because what I'm about to break down is one of those moments that actually tells you where America truly stands right now. And listen, I always say, when truth walks in the room, lies start looking for the exit. Today, those lies sprinted. This hearing wasn't just another political back and forth. Oh no. This was a moment where Senator Josh Hawley stood alone, the only one with the spine to say what everyone else pretended not to see. And if you're someone who likes real breakdowns, real facts, real truth with no filters, then do me a favor right now. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to Liberty Thinking, where the truth isn't hidden, it's unleashed and censored and unbothered. All right, let's dive in. Because today's title, Senator Hawley destroys witness over refusal to condemn anti-Semitic campus protests. That title doesn't even scratch the surface. Let me walk you through exactly what happened. Clearly, slowly, and fully.
Yeah.
This long live the Intifada.
Yeah.
Is this an example of the what did you say, National Organic Human Rights Movement that you mean? Is this a human rights movement?
I'm not sure that using the term intifada, which literally just means to like shake off or get rid of, is effective, as most Americans don't actually associate it with a human rights issue. So I don't think that's effective. No, Senator.
Wait a minute. You don't think it's effective, but you would agree that this is calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. This is after the
No, Senator.
No, it's not. This isn't calling for the killing of Jews.
I don't know that person, and I don't know that sign. So
you don't know what this means?
I don't.
You haven't seen this before. Did you see these protests on Rabbi? Do you know what this means?
Yes, it's a call for the destruction of the state of Israel and probably the killing of Jews everywhere.
I do not agree with that, Senator.
You don't think that you don't think that's hate speech right here?
Long live the Intifada can mean different. As I see the problem,
it can mean
Senator,
different things. Wait a minute. These are protests, violent protests on campuses that targeted Jewish students, attacked them personally, prevented them from going to camp, going to class, put them in fear of their safety after the October 7th attacks on the state of Israel that murdered more Jews than at any time since the Holocaust. And you're saying you think that this is an ambiguous message?
I'm saying that any student targeted on campus, a Jewish student.
Will you condemn this right here? Right here. Long live the Intifada. Will you condemn that?
I'm condemning Jewish students on a campus is being targeted, and the Office of Civil Rights should successfully be given funding.
Will you condemn this as hate speech?
I think that can be hate speech, but I don't think it's automatically hate speech. The problem is that there's nuance I'm trying to introduce to this conversation.
What's the nuance when these people are marching and calling for Jews to be killed?
Sir, because long intifada also means uprising for Palestinians. The way
so it's ambiguous, so it's hard to say. Well, my gosh. Okay, let's try another one. What about this?
Please, the audience will please.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fine. We know what you think, right? Exactly. I mean, I think you've made it clear. Those who were cheering earlier when Senator Cruz was asking about the attempts to destroy and kill Jews. Let's just be clear about what's going on here, because here's what's happening at this hearing. We can't talk about anti-Semitism without also talking about something else. The message that's being sent today at this hearing today is anti-Semitism isn't enough. The attempts to kill Jews on campuses, that's not a conversation worthy of discussion. You've got to add something else to it. So if you want to kill Jews, oh, well, we can't talk about that unless we also talk about 15 other things. And now we have a witness sitting here who will not condemn the attempts on these campuses that are blatantly anti-Semitic tropes, Nazi tropes to try and kill Jews. What about this one? There's only one solution. Is that a national organic human rights movement?
No, sir. I trust that's in reference to Holocaust, and that's
I would think the final solution. Okay, what about this? What about this? Glory to our martyrs.
Again, I don't understand the point of messaging like that. I don't know what that means.
Would you condemn this as anti-Semitic? This was projected here in Washington, D.C. on the campus in front of Jewish students following the October 7th massacre.
I think that that is not appropriate speech at a time.
It's hate speech in the context, don't you think?
Sure, but the point is I would prefer to focus on the issue of hate crime. That's the reason I'm saying that.
This is a hate crime. When you threaten to kill Jews and destroy the state of Israel, that's hate speech.
No,
That's a hate crime.
Threatening to kill anyone, including Jews, is
Yeah, let's not pretend that it's ambivalent or ambiguous or we're not sure. How about this one? Free Palestine from the river to the sea.
That's not hate speech, sir.
You don't think that this is a call for the destruction of the state of Israel?
Again, I can speak to what I think, which is amazing because I'd love to talk about what I think, but I really think the focus of our hearing
You don't think that after the October 7th attacks, when this was projected in front of a group of Jewish students right here in the District of Columbia, you don't think that's an attempt to intimidate them and call for the destruction of the state of Israel?
Focusing on hate crime, I would say if
Just
that
yes or
were
no?
displayed on a synagogue, then it's a hate crime. If it was displayed on a Hillel, then it's a hate crime. If it's displayed elsewhere, I trust its speech.
Well, and then we wonder why our students are confused. Rabbi, let me just ask you, are you confused about this message?
I'm not confused, and I'll add that even if it was ambiguous and could mean different things to different people, Senator, can you imagine if there was a phrase that also meant kill all the black people? Would we be okay with projecting it because it might also mean something else to someone else?
No, I mean, well said, well said. I'm almost done, Mr. Chairman, but let me just ask, since the witness talked about a national human rights movement, let me just ask about a couple others. University of North Carolina chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine claimed, it is our moral obligation to be in solidarity with the dispossessed, no matter the pathway to liberation they choose to take. This includes violence. Would you condemn that?
I'm sorry, was that for me?
Yes. It is our moral obligation to be in solidarity with the dispossessed, no matter the pathway to liberation they choose to take. This includes violence. You condemn that?
I certainly condemn violence.
Good. You condemn that statement?
I condemn violence. I have no interest in engaging in this back and forth about individual statements of students. You know what? I do have an interest in it, and here's why. What I just read to you, the United States Senate unanimously condemned this rhetoric, and unless we take a stand now on this rhetoric, on this specific rhetoric out of the mouths of these students that you have called National Organic Human Rights Movement protesters, we are going to send the message that trying to kill Jews on campus, trying to prevent Jews from going to class on campus is just okay. It's just another viewpoint.
Senator,
it's
your
not
time
just
is
another viewpoint. And
Never
frankly, what
okay.
you're trying to do here
Senator,
today, I
your
think,
time
is
has
wrong.
expired.
Senator Hawley confronted Ms. Berry, a witness who praised certain campus protests as a national organic human rights movement. Now, on the surface, that sounds beautiful. Human rights, student voices, grassroots energy. But when Hawley pulled out the actual signs from these protests, the slogans, the chants, the imagery, everything changed. These weren't peaceful posters about justice. These were signs screaming, "Long live the Intifada." There's only one solution, a Nazi reference. Glory to our martyrs. From the river to the sea. And the crazy part? She refused to condemn them. She said, it's ambiguous. There's nuance. It can mean different things. And here's my 100% honest opinion. When someone plays dumb about hate, they're not confused. They're comfortable. And here's a political proverb I came up with myself. Anyone who can't recognize hate isn't blind. They just prefer darkness. This is why Hawley stepped up. He didn't yell. He didn't twist words. He just held up the truth and said, "Is this what you support?" And she couldn't answer. Let me explain what's really going on here. Something no politician will say, but I will. There's a trend in America right now where violence gets rebranded as expression. Hatred gets disguised as activism. And calling out obvious bigotry suddenly becomes controversial. These campus protests weren't about peaceful resistance. They weren't about dialogue, compassion, or justice. They were about intimidation, specifically toward Jewish students. Students were blocked from buildings. Students were yelled at. Students were forced to hide. Some campuses literally had to place Jewish students in safe rooms. And here's another political proverb from me. When safety becomes selective, justice has already left the building. This is why Hawley acted the way he did. He saw leaders making excuses for hatred. He saw a witness trying to sell nuance instead of honesty. And he wasn't having it. That's bravery. That's leadership. That's what accountability looks like. Then the rabbi spoke. His words cut through the fog like light through smoke. He said, even if some phrases could have multiple meanings, would anybody accept a phrase that also meant kill all black people? Of course not. And right there, I said to myself another proverb. If a message can be read as a threat, it doesn't matter how gentle the handwriting is. This is what Ms. Berry refused to acknowledge. This is the blindness Hawley exposed. And that's why the room shook. Then Hawley read the UNC Students for Justice in Palestine statement. It is our moral obligation to stand with the dispossessed, no matter the pathway to liberation they choose, including violence. He asked Ms. Berry if she condemned it. Easy answer, yes. Straightforward, human, moral, but she couldn't do it. And that's when Hawley delivered the hammer. By refusing to condemn this rhetoric, you're sending a message that threats against Jews are just another viewpoint. That moment right there, that's when you see who is brave and who is hiding. And I have to say, your boy Hawley was the brave one. Everyone else walked around the fire. He walked straight through it. I'm going to think outside the box here because the solution isn't what the politicians keep repeating. Here's my full opinion. Raw, honest, unfiltered. The problem isn't the protests. The problem is the leadership that refuses to set moral boundaries. To fix this, we need 3 things. Heavy checkmark 1. Clear definitions of hate speech and intimidation. Not nuanced, not contextual, not ambiguous. Clear, consistent, enforced. Heavy checkmark 2. Universities held accountable for campus safety. If a student is targeted, blocked, or threatened, there must be consequences. Not memos, not dialogues. Consequences. Heavy checkmark 3. Leaders who aren't afraid to name the problem. And that's why, in this hearing, Hawley is the brave one. Because sometimes courage isn't loud. Sometimes courage is simply refusing to lie. And here's my final political proverb. A nation collapses the moment its leaders fear the truth more than the consequences. This hearing wasn't just political drama. It was a window into the moral confusion America is living through right now. And watching Hawley cut through that confusion was like seeing a flashlight in a blackout. If this breakdown helped you understand what really happened, if you appreciate truth that's uncensored, unfiltered, and unafraid, right arrow like this video. Right arrow subscribe to Liberty Thinking. Right arrow share it so more people know what's going on. Right arrow comment your thoughts. Do you think Hawley was right? Do you think the witness was being dishonest or just scared? Let's talk. Because here at Liberty Thinking, we don't hide truth, we expose it. We don't fear opinions, we welcome them. And we don't do nuance when the world needs clarity. Thanks for watching. Stay aware, stay sharp, stay free.